Imagine two friends in their 20s. One just got a $1,000 bonus and immediately splurges on new gadgets and dinners out, then wonders why his account stays empty. The other quietly invests that $1,000 and checks back years later to find it has grown. Both started at the same point, but they made very different choices. There's a mindset divide here. Most people spend first and regret later, but the wealthy invest first and enjoy the rewards later. Warren Buffett put it succinctly: someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Planting your own shade, investing early, is the first secret the broke don't see. Most people fall into a simple trap: earn, spend, hope something is left. They chase instant gratification, the newest phone, a flashy car, daily fancy coffee, which feels great now but leaves them broke later. Even a few dollars on useless fees can add up fast. By contrast, the rich live modestly on purpose. Buffett, worth billions, still lives in the house he bought as a teen and only upgraded his flip phone in 2020. He famously said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." In other words, pay yourself first. Wealthy people put money into savings or investments before anything else. Therefore, they force themselves to plant trees rather than chop them down. Buffett himself was frugal and visionary from day one. He started investing at 11 and never lost sight of the long term. He says bluntly, "If you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes." That advice shocks most people. Don't chase quick wins. Rich investors buy strong businesses and hold them patiently. A small investment today can snowball over decades. That's the tree Buffett planted early. Even if markets crash, he ignores it. He once joked that if he heard the market might close for 5 years, he'd still sleep at night because he picks only stocks he'd never want to sell. And if you ever realize you're on the wrong path, Buffett advises to stop digging. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. In plain terms, cut your losses and redirect your efforts. Therefore, instead of gambling or doubling down on bad bets, turn back and choose a smarter path. Buffett learned this from his mentor Benjamin Graham. Graham taught that the market is like a manic-depressive friend, Mr. Market, who shouts prices every day. In the short run, the market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it is a weighing machine, Graham said. That means daily prices reflect emotions, votes, but over years, fundamentals, weight, win out. Graham also warned, do the opposite of the crowd. The market is a pendulum that forever swings between unsustainable optimism and unjustified pessimism. And the intelligent investor is a realist who sells to optimists and buys from pessimists. When everyone else is euphoric, the smart money gets cautious. When everyone panics, they get greedy. But most people do the reverse, so they ride the pendulum to their own doom. Graham's secret lens was simple: look beyond the hype. So when Bitcoin was gobbling up headlines, a Graham student asks, is this justified or just votes? Ignoring crazy swings and focusing on real value, book value, earnings, dividends, separates the broke from the rich. Sir John Templeton took contrarian investing to the next level. During World War II, on the eve of disaster, he bought 104 beaten-down stocks for under $1 each. 34 failed. The rest soared, making him a legend. Templeton loved to say, bull markets are born on pessimism, grow on skepticism, mature on optimism, and die on euphoria. In practice, that means when others are terrified, that's when to buy. He put it plainly: buying when others have despaired and selling when they are full of hope takes fortitude. In other words, rich people look for bargains in a crowd's panic. When the news is dire, they smile and shop. When everyone's cheering stocks, they eye the exits. Templeton also reminded us, if you want to become really wealthy, you must have your money work for you. Don't just work for money, let money work for you via investments. This mental shift, money as a tool, not something to spend mindlessly, is what breaks most people's cycle of being broke. Another underappreciated legend is John Neff, who ran Vanguard's Windsor Fund for decades. He was a master bargain hunter. Neff's rule: never pay full price. I've never bought a stock unless, in my view, it was on sale, he said. That's literally how he crushed the market. Pick solid companies that Wall Street missed, hold their dividends and growth, and wait. He also warned against common traps. A lot of people can't bear to sell when a stock's price is going up. They're convinced they've made a mistake if they don't hold out for the last dollar. Most folks greedily ride a winning stock to the top and then crash with it. Neff did the opposite. Sell a winner before it bubbles and ride a loser quietly if he believed in it. He also preached, "It's not always easy to do what's not popular, but that's where you make your money. Buy stocks that look bad to less careful investors and hang on until their real value is recognized." This is straight from Neff's playbook. Buy what others scorn, hold until everyone catches on. Simple, but it requires courage. Carl Icahn might seem like an outlier, loud, aggressive, a corporate raider, but his mindset is just as teachable. He warns us about two sins. In life and business, there are two cardinal sins. The first is to act precipitously without thought, and the second is to not act at all. In other words, think, then act decisively. Paralysis and panic both kill returns. Icahn also says, when most investors, including the pros, all agree on something, they're usually wrong. This is a red flag against herd mentality. If everyone suddenly loves tech stocks, Icahn would be suspicious. He teaches to be contrarian when others are not. And he reminds us that, in risk, there is reward. Most people fear risk and stay on the sidelines and stay broke. Icahn says smart risk-taking is how fortunes grow. The rich don't have a magic gene. They just examine data, dare to bet against the crowd, and relentlessly seek mispriced opportunities. All these lessons point to one personal conclusion. It's the mindset that matters most. The rich see money as seeds to plant, not flames to burn. They ask, what will multiply this dollar? Instead of, what can I buy today? Most of us stay broke by buying the hype and ignoring value. Imagine paying your rent before your Netflix bill, or saving part of every paycheck into an index fund. This is exactly what Buffett, Graham, Templeton, Neff, and Icahn did. Their quotes guide us. Do not save what is left after spending. Think decades ahead. Buy low when fear reigns. Cut your losses. Question the crowd. Key takeaways. In practice, follow these steps. Pay yourself first, therefore invest before you spend. Treat your savings like a must-pay bill. Invest for the long haul. Pick good companies and be ready to hold them for years. Don't trade impulsively. Buy low, sell high. Buy when others are fearful, sell when others are greedy. Think independently, don't follow the herd. When everyone agrees, take it as a warning. Learn from mistakes. If you're wrong, stop digging, adjust and move on. At the end of the day, the difference isn't luck, it's how you think. Most people let habits and emotions run their money. The rich train themselves to look for opportunities in adversity, to plan decades in advance, and to value patience over instant gratification. The secret is simple but powerful. Start planting trees today so you can one day sit in their shade. Change your perspective now, and you too will find your bank account growing. Don't just wonder why the rich get richer, act like they do.